just thrumming with excitement, just beside themselves, wanting to go to school. And the reason is because they've got a school with well-trained, well-paid, enthusiastic teachers with wonderful facilities. They've got a couple of parents who, from an early age, taught them that learning was fun. As much as I love my children and know that they are the best children on earth, I also understand that that joy in learning that I see in them should be true for every child. And there's no reason why any American child on their first day of school shouldn't have that same excitement and that same opportunity. No one needs to tell me about the importance of education because I wouldn't be where I am today without it. I didn't come from wealth. I didn't come from power. My family came from relatively modest means, but they had a good education and they instilled in me a desire for a good education. And it's a consequence of being able to go to world-class schools and universities that I was able to succeed. Every child should have that same opportunity. There's no child whose opportunity should be stunted because of failing schools. So what do we need to do? First, we have to make sure that we're doing everything we can to close the achievement gap. Make sure that every child comes to school already prepared to learn. Too many of our kids are behind the day they arrive in the school system because of poverty. So they don't know their colors, they don't know their letters, they don't know their numbers, they don't have the experience of being read to. All that makes an enormous difference, and if they start behind, they're going to stay behind. It's going to be very hard for them to catch up. So we have to have a universal program of early childhood education, not just pre-K, but also starting with parents who are at risk, so that when that child is born, we're working with the parents to give them the tools that they need to prepare their children. These are America's children. We have to make sure that they're performing effectively in school, in part because they're going to be the ones who are in the workforce. And if we want Social Security to be solvent, then we want to make sure that those folks are employed. The second thing that's going to be, I think, an absolute priority is making sure that we're recruiting an army, a new generation of teachers to go into classrooms, particularly classrooms where children are currently underperforming in the inner cities and in rural areas. And that's going to require that we pay teachers more. It's also going to require that we provide them more professional development. We've got to work with them, not against them, in raising standards. And one of the problems with No Child Left Behind is that it's become so reliant on a standardized test model that, first of all, subjects like history and social studies have gotten pushed aside. Arts and music time is no longer there, which means the child's not having the well-rounded educational experience that I benefited from and most in my generation benefited from. We need to set up a growth model so that we're accurately assessing the performance of children and schools. And if we're doing that, then I think teachers want to achieve high standards. That's why they went into teaching. My sister is a teacher. I listen to her and the work that she's doing, preparing before class, after class, grading papers, dealing with students, dealing with their parents. It's a labor of love for her, and she does it for relatively little pay. But what she needs, and I think what most teachers want, is a sense that their work is valued, that they're appreciated, that they can have a middle-class life in pursuing their dreams of being teachers.